before we even go into this story problem, let me just point out something. There's a formula in this section. It looks very clever. It says this: probability of an event joined with a second event, so two events joined together, is going to be the probability of the first event E plus the probability of the second event F minus the probability of E intersect F. Just remember, they give you two formulas in the book. Both of them are basically this one. This part right here is going to be 0 if the events are mutually exclusive, because the intersection is going to be empty, and the probability of nothing happening is 0. So it's really the same formula that you're dealing with. You don't have to memorize two different ones. Just realize that sometimes this is actually something, sometimes it's not. Also, this isn't a new formula. If we were in the Venn diagram section, I would have used the letter lowercase n instead of capital P, but we'd be having the same sort of idea and the same sort of conversation. So, having said that, let's talk about this survey question. In a survey of 2,500 Americans that are 18 years of age and older, the following question was asked. Given recent American declines in education, what's the biggest factor that hurts education? Notice something here in this question. They tell us that these numbers add up to 2,500. If they hadn't told us that, I would just add up all these possibilities and find out that they equal 2,500. As soon as I've done that, that tells me that no matter what question we're asking, my number of total possible outcomes, my denominator, is 2,500. So if a person is selected at random, what's the chance they believe educators are paid what they would make in corporate America? Might have to be a little bit wishy-washy on this question, but not too much. If salary, quality of life, or benefits is something that is hurting education, then I assume that means they're not being paid enough. So we'll cross this one off the list. Non-salary funding has nothing to do with salaries, so that's part of this group. Qualified people, again, I think that can probably be part of this group. And other as well. We're going to add these together. This time I'm going to add them all together because you were asked to check one box and one box only in this survey. You were filled out in these different spots, so there's no overlap. These are mutually exclusive. You're asked to pick the biggest. You don't get to pick them all. What's the chance that a person believes money is not the issue? Well, remember our formula. The probability of an event plus the probability of the complement of that event equals the probability of the total sample space, which is always 1. So the chance that money is an issue is 500 plus 750 over my 2,500. Oops, that's one too many zeros. So I could solve it this way. Notice I could just as well solve it directly by saying, okay, this is the ones where money is not an issue. So I could say it's going to be 837 plus 413, all divided by 250. I think this second question is kind of cool, money not being the issue, because there's two different ways you can solve it. You can be above the line and solve it this way, or you can be below the line and solve it this way. Depending on what particular problem you're working, one might be easier than the other. But convince yourself that no matter what, you'll get your same answer with your 837 plus 413. If I add those together, 413 plus 837 is going to give me 1250 over 2500. So I have 125 being divided by 250. And that gives me 50%. So I've got a 50% chance that people believe, if I stop them on the street, if this was a statistically significant survey, that people believe money is not the issue. What we've really got going on here is we don't have enough qualified people in this country to teach, or some other things going on.